My name is Eleonora Matrella from the ELU Center Ostrobotnia. And for your information, this session will be recorded and then shared on our social media and also sent to the incoming international students of other higher education institutions in the area. So yes, this is the Talent Coastline Employment in Finland info session. And yes, I will now give word straight away to Francesca Cucinotta, the Talent Coastline Project Manager. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Eleonora. It's nice to see you all here. There's quite many of you, and I'm here with Eleonora and Anna Korsbäck, and we try to give you a little presentation of an overview of employment in Finland and what to do if you want to stay in Finland for a job after you graduate. I know some of you are degree students, some of you are exchange students. There are students from the University of Vaasa, I think mostly, but then from other institutions in the Vaasa higher education sector as well. I'm very glad to be here today. I've worked at the University of Vaasa in the international office for more than 20 years. So every year for 20 years, I've been talking to the international students. So it's nice to see you. Do ask questions if you have some as we go. You can post them also to the chat box, and then maybe Eleonora or Anna then can tell us the questions if the presenter can't see them. But I'll start, and then we'll talk more. I'll start to present my slides. Okay. I did mention my name already, right? And the Center of Economic Development and Transport and the environment. That's the long name for ELU Center, ELU in Finnish, and the huge monster in English. So Talent Boost is a national program which was started in 2018 in Finland. Until then, Finland did not have a special program for attracting and retaining international talent, but this work was started then, and I'll show first what Talent Boost means. As we know, many of you who've come from other countries maybe like Finland after being here for 2-3 years and consider Finland as an option for employment. We've made some research among the students, and their answer was that about 66% of the respondents say that Finland is an option for staying after graduation for the following reasons. Probably those of you who just came to Finland haven't noticed yet, maybe from the international office services, yes, but from elsewhere that Finland has great services for the citizens, and Finland does use quite a lot of money for that as well. Our healthcare is doing quite well, even though we have the same challenges as other countries concerning the coronavirus, but still we're doing very, very well at the moment. Finland's wages are reasonably high compared to other countries, not the same as in Norway, but still the kind of wages which can support your family. We have a lot of career opportunities. This is a small country with a small population, so we do need new and more blood. The competitiveness, there are a lot of opportunities to get into different positions, work abroad when you're in Finnish labor market. The environment, the Finnish nature. Maybe you've already heard about jokamiehen oikeus, which means that you can pick berries, pick mushrooms all around, not in somebody's yard though, but you can really use the environment here in Finland. The relationships. Well, when you get to know Finnish people, you'll probably first see that Finns might be a little bit quiet. And when you get to know Finnish people, you understand that you get a friend for life. So these are the reasons that students, so you guys, have presented as the reasons to stay in Finland. What do we do in the national level with the talent boosters, or what we call them? So the different parts of talent boost, or different municipalities or cities, have arranged to be talent hubs. So Vaasa, for example, is a talent hub, and we are the project managers for the talent boost in the region and the cities. We have a tight cooperation between the two ministries, the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment and the Ministry of Education and Culture. All the universities, even though they are private in Finland, still operate under the regulation and get most of their financing from the Ministry of Education and Culture. We have a job board with Business Finland, which you can find from that location. And there we present jobs where you can work in English mostly, or at least you can start working not knowing Finnish or Swedish language. So check that out. Then we give guidance and try and develop the work and study permits together with the different stakeholders. We organize national networking days and talent boost summit every year. We do quite a lot of marketing, information distribution, branding of Finland and the hubs. And now we've started a Kokka kohti Suomea project called Talent Coastline Employment together with Vaasa and Kokkola, which will concentrate on the soft landing services here in Vaasa and in the region, and in Kokkola as well. And then we have the EURES network, which might be familiar to you guys, the European-wide recruitment opportunity network, let's say. And then what we are doing at the moment, cooperation with the higher education institutions in the regions. This is what the ecosystem looks like. So the international, we hope, finds the Finnish business life. That's the basic idea. And the stakeholders are the different governmental organizations like we are, along with all the higher education here in the two regions, along with all the vocational education in the regions. Erasmus Student Network is on board. We have different projects, for example, Talent Scout in Kiristian kaupunki and Pietarsaari. The HR people from the bigger companies in Vaasa, Barona, Wärtsilä are on board. The entrepreneurship societies, the development companies, and the Vaasa or the Ostrobotnia Chamber of Commerce is on board. What do we do then locally? Well, our clients are the international students, incomers with humanitarian base, work-based immigration, and returning expats along with spouses. The main principle is the networking, so get everybody on board in the regions. We do influencing, communication, marketing, branding, including working groups. When we talk about the Talent Boost, Talent Coastline, we use the hashtags. So we hope you can find this as well when you come across our functions. The soft landing services I already mentioned, and the development of integration services all in all. We support gaining language skills in the companies. And I can't highlight enough how important it is to learn Finnish, or in Vaasa even a little bit of Swedish, if you are planning to stay in Vaasa. At the university, you might get along the whole 2 years with just English, but if you want to stay in Finland, take the opportunity to learn Finnish and a little bit of Swedish. And those of you who are studying in the Swedish universities, the other way around. We offer employment and recruitment services. Anna will talk about those more in EURES, and then the job board I already mentioned. And then we have for companies some internationalization services at VExpo. Business services also include Business Finland services, the national team Finland, and the Talent Scout. And then we can try and offer some help with the permits. We offer LinkedIn training, CV clinics, interview simulations. Eleonora will talk about that even more, and the HR services network I already mentioned. This is my contact information. We are located on the other street, on the other side of the street from the university and VAMK at the government yellow big building in Wolfintie. So you can always come and meet us. We're not always there sitting, but if you have something, you can always email us and agree on an appointment. There's our other contact information. Do join the LinkedIn group, which you can find from LinkedIn with hashtag Talent Coastline. And then there's a Talent Coastline site as well, which you can take a look at. This was my presentation. If you have any questions at the moment, I'll be happy to answer. No questions?
Seems not.
Seems not. So then I'm not presenting anymore, am I?
No, you're not. It's good.
Good.
Perfect
Good.
timing as well. Just
because
thank you so much.
Timing is hard to hold, but you'll notice here in Finland it's essential again. Everything starts like clockwork when it's supposed to start and normally ends as well. But I'll give the floor then to Eleonora, right?
Yes, correct.
Go ahead.
So I am gonna have a short presentation about my tips and advices as an old international student and also a worker now here in Finland. So yes, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. My name is Eleonora Matrella, as I said before, and I'm the Talent Coastline Expert in the Center Ostrobotnia. And you can find me on LinkedIn. Feel free to add me and ask for any questions, anything that you might need. And I will guess that my presentation is visible, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So first of all, welcome to Finland. I have been in Finland for about a little over 3 years now. And I actually came to Finland the first time 6 years ago as an exchange student. And I liked it so very much that I decided to try and stay a little bit longer and decided to join a master's program in intercultural management and communication at the University of Vaasa, actually. And yes, and now I've been working for 1.5 years in here. So my first tip about entering the Finnish job market would be to know yourself first. So my first piece of advice is that I have seen with my work plenty of CVs, interviews of internationals. And the first thing that I think you should do right now while you're a student is knowing your strengths and your skills and knowing your field of expertise. So what do you bring to an employer or to a company once you are done with your degree? We found out that many international students don't have that very, very clear. And if you don't know it yourself, then you cannot tell this to your potential employer or the company that you want to work in. So you should use the time of your studies to really build up your professional profile, to find out how do you make a difference in a company, what are your skills and what can be applied in a Finnish company or a specific company where you want to work in. And so in this way, you would be able to actually sell yourself to the Finnish companies, especially maybe the small and medium-sized ones that are the ones that are a little bit more difficult to get in. But we are actually working on that so that in the future there will be more and more opportunities for the internationals to get employment here in Finland. So yes, that will be the first one. My second tip will be quality over quantity. And the idea is that the traditional recruitment process that everybody uses with the CV, writing a CV, sending it to many companies, and then waiting and hoping for an answer, that's something that, yes, you should be doing, but it's not the only thing that you should focus on. You should try and find out about the local companies and their values and the people working in these companies. You should know that there is plenty of hidden jobs, for example. So it's not as easy as to send the same CV 100 times over and over and then waiting for somebody to reply. Most of the times that is not the right approach to trying and find a job here in Finland. So find out about the companies, try to network your way, for example, using LinkedIn. That's a really good tool to use to find employment, at least in here as an international. And for example, there is the possibility to tailor your CV so that the companies will appreciate you more. So if you manage to tailor your CV and your motivational letter so that it applies to a specific company requirements, that will be something that might bring you more results than actually sending the same CV over and over again. Yes, make it appealing, try to stand out as much as possible, because there is a competition not only between internationals and Finns, but also between internationals and internationals. So try to stand out as much as possible, but still always being mindful of the culture that you're in. So try and find out a lot about the Finns and the working life. And my colleague Anna will actually explain this to you soon. But yes, a good way to start could possibly be joining our LinkedIn group so that you can start doing your networking already now. So that would be great. And my last tip, I called it the bubble. And the idea behind this is that it's good to network with people that are from your own country and other internationals. Of course, nobody takes away the value that you get from networking with all people, but I would definitely recommend not to make the mistake of limiting yourself. So make the effort to get to know the Finns and immerse yourself in their culture, learn the language, even though it can be difficult and tricky and so on. It's important to know even just enough to impress the Finns. That is something that I can definitely say from my own experience, that I started learning the language as soon as I found out that I was gonna go in Finland. And I think that helped a lot making friends, for example, already at the beginning, Finnish friends. And what I can tell you is that, yes, Finns can be a bit hard to approach, but if you meet them halfway and understand them and show yourself accordingly to their own culture, then it's definitely possible to do it. I absolutely can tell you that it is possible to get to know the Finns. And one way that I used that I think brought me most of my Finnish friends and then my Finnish network coming with it, of course, has been volunteering. So depending on what are your hobbies, depending on what are your skills and your interests as well, then you can always try to find a way to get to know the locals. And that will work as your advantage because you are an international and you can use that to actually get to know Finns much easier with your communication skills and just presenting yourself and so on. But yes, remember to meet them halfway and start early. Don't wait for your degree to be finished to start networking and to start getting to know the Finns and start looking for a job, because this is actually the moment where you start building your professional profile, your professional persona, so to say. And this is the only way that you can actually build something up until when you're graduated, and then you're gonna most probably have more chances to get a job in here or anywhere else in Finland. So unless you have any questions for me, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. I am definitely up for answering any questions, both in here or also on LinkedIn, for example. And yes, feel free to ask anytime. And
Thank you.
If not,
Thank you,
I will just
Eleonora.
yes.
I just heard from WhatsApp that the presentation I gave, the YouTube didn't have any voice, so I'm very sorry about that. Maybe you tried to say something, Eleonora, but I'm in a small office with I didn't hear that. But
I
Eleonora,
did say, but then I realized that in any case there was plenty of information on the screen, very much
right.
so that I could understand everything.
Right,
So I
but
think that
sorry about that. It doesn't always work, but you're going to put the presentation and the presentation, all of them, in the talentcoastline.fi site. So if you want to go and watch the video with voice, you can go there. Either you can just put it on YouTube by yourself, write Talent Boost, and it will appear in English there as well. Or then you can watch it in Finnish and, you know, learn Finnish maybe.
It's
Okay,
also on the website already, so yes, feel free to go check it out. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Shall we let Anna go on now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I will start to share my presentation. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so my name is Anna Korsbäck, and I'm coming from the Ostrobotnia TE office. So it's the same building where Francesca and Eleonora are working in Palosaari. There is a picture of the building. What is TE office? Well, officially it's called Employment and Economic Development Office. It's a public office, so everything what we do is based on law, and we work under Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment. Employers and job seekers are our customers, and we offer different kind of services for our job seekers in order to improve their employment. For example, we have this website where you can find thousands of open vacancies in Finland, and it's open for everybody. You don't need to register, you can just browse the open vacancies. Then we give guidance on how to seek work, and we organize different kind of trainings and coachings. We help on professional development and produce employment measures. You can see our website there, teservices.fi. There are the pages are in Swedish and Finnish and some parts in English. And we are happy to welcome to be our customer after you have graduated, because full-time students are not able to register as job seekers in our system. Just something about employment issues in Vaasa. You already know that Vaasa is a bilingual city. Finnish and Swedish are spoken a lot, and then other languages as well. This is quite an international city, and a lot of students. Every fifth person you meet on the street is usually a student. The unemployment rate was quite good before Corona. Okay, now it's doubled, but it was 7.3% before Corona, so quite good. And we have big international companies here, but also a lot of SMEs, so keep that in mind. And the energy sector is strong here in the area. And some tips or advices for you if you want to enter the Finnish job market. So first of all, check your permit. International degree students with B permit can work 25 hours per week. So you could basically do some kind of part-time work, or maybe you are interested in summer jobs next summer. But if you want to work in summer, be prepared, because employers announce really early. those openings already it can be already in December, but January, February at the latest. And then job search. My advice is that be active. As Eleonora told you, prepare your application documents and know your strengths and your goals. It's really important. And get to know the companies and other employers in Vaasa and in Ostrobothnia. And if anyhow possible, try to network with them. And then after these preparations, you can start your job search. You could start by checking our website, teservices.fi. There are a lot of useful information for you, tips for finding a job or how to write a good CV and cover letter. And then, as I told you, there is this website that contains thousands of open vacancies in Finland, and you can browse it and no need to register or anything. Then you could check employment agencies if they have anything open, or directly the companies you are interested in. And don't forget the hidden jobs, because usually or quite often the companies don't announce everything. So it requires more work from your side, but you could send open applications and kind of sell yourself to the company. And prepare yourself for the Finnish work life. Now you are in a new country, and it's really important to get to know the Finnish culture and the country and the city. So just try to be part of our society. And Finnish and Swedish skills are always a big plus when you are applying for a job in Finland. So I recommend that you start to study them as soon as possible. Okay, and then something about Finnish working culture. What to expect and how does it look for you? Okay, I'm a Finn, so this was quite difficult. So I decided to check from the internet what kind of things are how to say, coming up. This is not an absolute truth or a guide, because each workplace has its own work culture, so keep that in mind. But I pointed out a few things that could be interesting for you. Well, first of all, the power distance is low in Finland, and also the structure is very flat. Employees address each other by using names regardless of their position. And also decision making is very democratic in Finland. Everybody's opinions are taken into account, and employers really want to hear employees' point of views. Straight to the point. Finns are often characterized as quiet, like Francesca told us, but actually Finns are not afraid to speak out when it's required. Frank comments or saying things the way they are is common in Finland, and it's not considered impolite to say your opinion. In meetings, the usual procedure is to get straight to the point after greeting everybody. All kind of chit-chatting is done somewhere else, for example, in coffee breaks. On the other hand, whenever you have any questions about your work or anything, you are allowed to ask. And asking also shows you motivation to learn. Maybe you have already noticed that you are always encouraged to ask questions if somebody gives a presentation. So at the end, there is always time for questions. Honesty and reliability are highly valued in a work environment. Also, employees are expected to be independent. Boss gives the tasks and set the goals. And after that, employee decides independently the details and how he or she is going to achieve the goals. So a lot of independence and proactivity is needed in Finland. Therefore, if you agree to do something, you are actually expected to do it. And it's totally okay to say that I'm not able to do something because I don't have, for example, time. And your value as an employee does not decrease if you are honest and say what is your situation, that I don't have time. Okay, and then fourth point is punctuality. Finnish time orientation is quite strict, and being late is not appreciated. If a meeting starts at 8 o'clock, it means 8 o'clock sharp, not 10 past. Same applies to deadlines. If you say that you will get something done by Monday, so people are expecting it to be done by Monday. However, if you are late, it's always polite to inform others and ask for more time if you need more time. And then the next point is work and private life separation. In the Finnish culture, work and private life are usually kept separate. When you are getting to know your colleagues, it's good to talk about neutral topics at first, for example, hobbies or TV or weather. And actually weather is Finns love to talk about weather. It's a good icebreaker in many cases, so remember that. Finns usually work around 40 hours per week, so eight hours per day, and they are quite strict about not working too much more. So Finns value a good work-life balance, and they work 8 hours really effectively, and after that they enjoy leisure time with their friends and family or with their hobbies. And last but not least, coffee break. Okay, now it might sound that Finns are really boring and they get straight to the point and they are efficient and they focus only on the work, but in fact, Finns do socialize with their colleagues. As you already maybe know, that Finns are the biggest consumers of coffee in the world, and a lot of the consumption takes place at work. Coffee breaks are held once or twice a day, and so they are really important events. And same applies to lunch breaks. In some parts of the world, in some countries, it is normal to work through your lunch or maybe skip your lunch or eat at your desk, but this is not the case in Finland. Finns eat with their colleagues. It's the kind of a socializing there. Okay, about maybe that's all. Maybe I would say something about the language thing, that even though if you are working in an international big company, your working language is probably English, but don't underestimate Finnish or Swedish, because usually Finns they are really eager to know everything about you, and they are really happy if they learn that okay you are studying the language. So it's good to know the language, and smaller SMEs, it's always you need to know Finnish or Swedish. So study the language and integrate into Finnish society. Yes.
Thank you, Anna. We are just actually almost done with our time, so if there is any questions, we could maybe answer one fast, but I don't see any on the chat, so this might be it, maybe.
And any comments? Anybody with their face who wants to share their knowledge about Finland or the Finns?
Yes, that would be nice.
You're as shy as the Finns.
Good way to integrate already.
Absolutely, you're in the right country. Okay. If not,
you can find us on LinkedIn. Talent Coastline is the name of the group. And on the website, talentcoastline.fi, there is, yes, all the information that you might need, all the links about employment, finding jobs, and so on. You can already start looking around, so you're ready for when you will actually need. And yes, be part of our network. It will be great to get to know you all. And that's all, I think.
from our part, thank you and have a great day. There was one question.
Yes, there is.
Yes, that's good one.
How many students get employed by you after their graduation? What do we mean here by you? Meaning Ely Center or
Maybe
or
Finland
Finns?
or
Actually, okay, we don't actually have like a number for that, because after graduation, the universities can't really track the students, and the TE services not necessarily keep that track either. So Anna, do you have an idea of that? We know that at least 2/3 would like to stay in Finland. So some sort of general Finnish statistics say that maybe 2/3 actually stay. But Anna, do you have a number?
I don't have a number, but quite many of those they are working they have some kind of jobs.
Right.
Quite often, but I don't have numbers.
Okay. All right. Then we'll close the session, right?
Yes, we do that. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Kiitos.
Kiitos. Moikka.